The Bisons traveled on the road last week away from Sahlen Field. Let's take a look back at some of the action on this week's road trip recap. The Bisons traveled to Indianapolis last week, taking on the Indians for their only trip to the Circle City this year, and left town with 4 victories of the 6 meetings, including the opening night of the series. After falling behind in the opening frame, Buffalo would score 5 of the next 6 on their way to the 5-4 victory. Alek Manoah set the tone for Buffalo's pitching staff for the week. In the opening night of the set, 5 1/3 innings, did give up 3 runs, all were unearned, but struck out 5 along the way, allowing Buffalo's offense to get to work in the top of the third. Joey Loperfido, after the first 4 reached in the inning, had a 2-run base hit that brought Buffalo within a run. The Bisons would tie it in the top of the 6th thanks to a Rainer Nunez RBI base hit. And then in the top of the 8th inning, with the Bisons trailing 4-3, they would cash in 2 more runs. R.J. Schreck, the first of 2 big hits in the series, coming off the bench in a pinch hit situation with a 2-run base hit that gave Buffalo the 5-4 lead. They would hold on. Adam Macko pitched behind Alek Manoah, going 3 2/3 innings, and secured his 3rd victory in a Bisons uniform. Between the 2 pitchers, Manoah and Macko combined for 9 strikeouts in the Bisons' opening game victory. The Bisons would game 2 6-3 as well. Behind more strong starting pitching, Trey Savage went 4 2/3 innings for Buffalo, allowing 1 earned run along the way. But Buffalo would strike first in the top of the opening inning after Michael Stefanik walked and a hit by pitch for Riley Terada. R.J. Schreck launched a 3-run home run that gave Buffalo a 3-0 lead, a lead they would not relinquish the entire game. Indianapolis would get 1 of their 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Nick Solak with an RBI double. That's the only run Savage would give up in the start against Indy. Buffalo would get the run right back. In the top of the second, however, Michael Stefanik came through with a sacrifice fly, extending Buffalo's lead to 4-1. It would balloon out to 6-1 in the top of the third. RBI sacrifice fly by Josh Kasevich, his first RBI since rejoining the Bisons off the 60-day injured list. And Yohendrick Pinango, 1 of 2 hits on the day, was an RBI double, cashing in Brandon Valenzuela. Buffalo wins Game 2 of the series 6-3, and they would take 3 straight, securing at least a series split with a 5-3 win on Thursday as well. The Bisons once again used 1 big inning to propel them to the victory. All 5 of Buffalo's runs in the 5-3 win came in the top of the second off of Sean Sullivan. Yohendrick Pinango led off the inning with a double. He would eventually come around to score on a wild pitch. Josh Rivera drove in Phil Clark, who drew a walk in the inning. He scored to make it 2-0 Buffalo. And then Jonathan Clase, with a no-doubt 3-run home run for Buffalo, capped the 5-run top of the second inning. And at one point for Buffalo, 4 straight batters reaching base, including the 3-run big fly by Clase. That gave him 6 home runs on the season with Buffalo at the time, and 16 RBIs as well. Buffalo's pitching staff would cruise once again. C.J. Van Eyck helping the Bisons pitching staff with 5 more innings of scoreless work. For the first 3 days of the series, the Bisons pitching staff combining to allow just 1 earned run across those 3 outings, helping Buffalo win all 3 games of the series to begin the week in the Circle City. Paxton Schultz, Braden Fisher, Joe Mantiply, all pitching in relief for Buffalo in the Herd's 5-3 victory. Indy would score their first victory of the series on Friday night with a 5-3 win, and then on Saturday, one of the most well-pitched ball games of the year. The quickest game of the season, in fact, was a 2-1 Indianapolis victory. Eliezer Hernandez made his Bisons debut and pitched well. The right-hander, who was signed as a free agent in the middle of August, went 6 innings for Buffalo, scattering just 2 hits, allowed 2 runs, only 1 was earned, and both of those runs came in the top of the 5th inning. It was after Buffalo opened up a 1-0 lead in the top of the first when Joey Loperfido led off the game with a base hit to center field. A couple of batters later, Yohendrick Pinango would drive him home, giving the Bisons the 1-0 lead. It was a bullpen game for Indianapolis, just 7 combined hits in the game, and a game in which took 1 hour and 59 minutes. Again, the shortest 9-inning game of the season for the Bisons. With a chance to split the series, Indianapolis would fall to the Bisons in the final game of the set, giving Buffalo their 4th win out of 6 tries in the heartland of America. Indianapolis runs came in the bottom of the second, the only 2 of the day coming against Alek Manoah in his 6th-inning effort, allowing him to secure the victory for Buffalo. Did scatter 5 hits, struck out 3 along the way, and just those 2 runs allowed, both were earned in the bottom of the second. But the Bisons offense got to work in the top of the third. Another home run for R.J. Schreck, another no-doubt home run down the right field side, got Buffalo on the scoreboard, trimming the deficit to 2-1, and then those 5 runs in the top of the 6th inning. For Buffalo, each of the first 6 batters would reach base, including a bases-loaded RBI walk for Brandon Valenzuela, a base hit and an RBI for Rainer Nunez, while Josh Rivera came through with a sacrifice fly, and also Michael Stefanik, his lone hit of the day, was an RBI base hit to right field. Buffalo secured the series victory. Now they return home to take on the Syracuse Mets for the second-to-last homestand of the season. It is jam-packed, including another Honda Friday Night Bash, which includes Luces de Buffalo on Friday, Hockey Day in partnership with our friends at the Buffalo Sabres, and presented by Legends on Saturday as the Bisons close out their season series against the Syracuse Mets. For all promotional details with great things going on all 6 days, head over to Bisons.com.
For this road trip recap, I'm Pat Malacaro.